Hunger is the tragedy of too many people today. When you're hit by war or natural disasters, you have little chance of getting food. My name is Frank McCourt. I grew up in a slum in Limerick City, where hunger was common. It's the same everywhere, in the Congo in Africa, in Afghanistan, on the streets of the Bronx, the slopes of the Appalachian Mountains. My mother lost 3 of 7 children to hunger and ignorance. You don't have to live it to feel it. Action Against Hunger works in over 40 countries on 5 continents to provide nutrition, water, and sanitation, food security, and health programs for people who desperately need them. Each year, Action Against Hunger saves over 4 million lives.
In Congo, every day is a miracle for us because we have so many malnourished children in our therapeutic centers. And those children, we're nourishing them, we're taking care of them on a 24-hour basis. And a month later, when I go back, I see those babies healthy, smiling, and ready to go. And it is touching, and it is very powerful.
There are a lot of people in the world who still don't have enough to eat on a daily basis. About 800 million plus people. And then there's approximately 1.2 billion people that live on less than $1 a day. And really, this is not a problem of that we don't have enough food in the world. I think we produce enough food in the world to feed maybe 7, 8 billion people. But it's really a problem of access.
Yesterday or Sunday we went shopping. We went shopping down 6th Avenue, I guess, I'm not sure which one. And I looked in all the stores, I saw all of these things in the stores. I saw all the people walking up and down the street. I saw everybody being able to buy food, being able to drink water, being able to go to the bathroom when they needed to go to the bathroom in a safe and secure way. And yet I know that there are many millions of people who don't have those same advantages.
This is our world, and we cannot accept that while we're living comfortably in our own homes in New York, in Texas, in San Francisco, wherever it is, that we cannot forget the fact that half of the world's population is suffering on a daily basis.
Initially, everybody looks at hunger, that it's basically that it's drought, it's flood, and things like this. Certainly, this is the case in South Sudan, but isn't the primary reason. In a place where there is actually civil war, when we're seeing rates of malnutrition of 30%, which might not mean a lot, but international standards is 10%, is an emergency. We're seeing 3 times that in South Sudan.
Our work on the field is very striking. We see these malnourished children, we see these suffering people, and with our programs, I can see the difference that I'm making for their lives on a daily basis.
Within any therapeutic feeding centre that we're working with, we have health educators as well as home visitors. And part of their activity is actually going out into communities and to inform communities that this centre is opening.
The therapeutic centres work in 3 phases. The first phase is the introduction. That's where we start giving them the therapeutic milk slowly and gradually, and we keep them under surveillance for 24 hours. After a 7 days or 10 days period, we move them to a second phase where we start introducing some of the solid food so that we can really monitor the treatment. And the third phase is the one where we start giving them the solid food. Right now, for example, in my programs in the Eastern Congo, we have a 92% recovery rate.
I went into the center one day and I saw a child walking through the center, a little girl about 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. And she was carrying something and I thought she was playing with a doll, like any other little girl, any other place in the world. And then I went up to her to say hi and to ask her how she was doing. And I realized that she wasn't carrying a doll, she was carrying a brick, because she had no doll. So she was feeling well enough, having gone through the entire program, to now be returned to a life, her normal life as a child, but she still had no doll. And so what we did was we started the mothers sewing dolls for their children.
We're constantly in a situation of training staff, of increasing the local capacities, the local capabilities. We work with authorities or communities, that could be the heads of tribes or elders and people such as that.
In Uganda, where I was also head of mission, our activities were more concerned with water. So it was our job there to bring water to the people and to provide them with the means of knowing proper sanitation tools and techniques.
Certainly we're involved a lot with research in the best practices that can happen, particularly in nutrition. This also is in the case of food security, water, and to actually deal with the root causes of malnutrition. So we have a lot of expertise internationally in the fight against malnutrition and fight against hunger too, and have a good reputation because we actually do meet the needs of the beneficiaries.
There are several reasons to give to Action Against Hunger. Number one is that Action Against Hunger is very, very good at what it does. We measure success in our nutritional programs by the number of children that leave our programs alive. We measure success in terms of the number of liters of water that we're producing on a daily basis. We measure success in the food security programs in terms of the increased harvest. In all of them, we measure it in terms of the number of people that we've trained. Knowledge is one of those things that you can use forever and ever and ever.
We make sure that everyone knows where our money goes, what we are doing, and we keep to our charter of transparency, impartiality, and getting the aid to the most vulnerable population. So we give our confidence to the people who are giving their money to us.
I wish I could swing up into the sky, up into the clouds. I might be able to fly around the whole world and not hear my brothers, Oliver and Eugene, cry in the middle of the night anymore. My mother says they're always hungry. She cries in the middle of the night too. Thank you for your support of Action Against Hunger.
Munne isa